All right, guys. Today we're gonna do a little troubleshooting on this Wen 11,000 watt electric start. Got the battery. I just disconnected that. It's dual fuel, obviously. Got the different settings for the fuel, little battery or voltage, frequency, and the hours, the time. 35 amp plug. So if you look in there, you can see how nasty that is. You can see the rust here. So that's definitely a sign that most likely her carburetor is clogged. We'll see what happens. So let's see. Let's do our little pre-checks. So it has fuel, some nasty fuel. Barely any oil. Could be the oil. Could be the oil. Let me go get something real quick. I'm seriously like praying to God, but this never happens. I never get lucky. But I'm praying that it's just simply too low on oil, and the low oil shutoff is preventing it from starting. That would be nice. I got another job I gotta go to. It's gonna be a long evening. Yeah, I know. I'm really hoping that I don't have to. I should have recorded the video I had over the weekend. The guy had a one of these, basically not a Wen, but his tank was so rusted that I had to literally flush it 5 times to get the rust flakes basically out of it, because it will clog this up. It'll clog your petcock valve up. So let's see here. It's off right now. So actually, let's turn it on. Like that. and it'll clog this up. Got the fuel on. Let's bleed the carburetor. Make sure we actually got gas in there, because if that was off for a while, then it actually can take a little bit of cranking to get the carburetor filled up. It's not even flowing. It's barely dripping through. You know what that means, right? My worst fear. And I'm doing this job for like way cheaper, because I gave her, last year when I did it, when I first started, I gave her a cheap price, so I honored it. Shouldn't be doing that, because now I'm gonna be here forever. Hopefully not. Let's first off close the valve. And let's okay. We got fuel flow from there. Here. Yeah. Okay. So the carb is clogged, my guys. And that bolt is stripped. You don't ever want to be storing your generator outside. If you can avoid it, you want to. Hello.
Our gas is old?
No, there's a lot of rust.
Gasoline?
It's rusting.
Gasoline?
A lot. Yeah, there's a lot of rust in your tank because you don't have it filled up, and then in the summer, the heat, there's condensation, water from the heat gets in there and it causes to rust. I mean, look at all the rusting right here.
Then what shall we do that one?
I'm gonna get it to work.
Okay. Because you know, the gasoline
It's what?
so it stay at almost 1 year, I think, the gasoline. In the gallon, it's that in the gallon.
Yeah, you can't keep it for a year.
Almost.
Nah, after 5 months, you gotta get rid of it.
Yeah. That's what. You have to buy a new gasoline.
Yeah, exactly. Or you should switch to propane. There's conversion kits to where you switch to propane. You don't have any of this problems. You don't have to empty the propane. You know, it doesn't go bad. Very smart idea. A lot of customers go that route.
We have a propane here.
What?
We have a propane.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, here.
Oh, well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
should be using that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This doesn't need a conversion kit. It's made already for propane. I forgot. Okay. See if I can get this done. Oops. Gotta go get some stuff. Gotta loosen the fuel solenoid. And in my experience, 90% of the time, you'll end up stripping the Phillips bolts, so you gotta use these to at least break the seal. And then you're good. Oh yeah. That's gunked up. Like to spray that, re-lube that. And this is the problem. See all that crap in there? I showed you guys in the other videos how small the fuel valve is, the main jet. Clean it all out, get all that crap out of there. You want it to look like that. Alright, we got that. We do gotta clean this out too on the fuel solenoid units. There's always this little bolt that the solenoid will allow fuel through. It actually has little holes in here, and so the holes is where the fuel flows through, and if they get clogged up, then there's no fuel flow. You want to clean that out. Okay, got that clean. Let's make sure our float that's nasty too. we can pull the main fuel. So, it's not that bad, but you can barely see through it. I guarantee you it was the solenoid getting stuck. So, want to really really want to clean it all good. Okay, we got fuel, which is good. I'm gonna also change her the fuel filter, because after seeing all that crap in there, it'll just be the so you always put the long one in first with the fatter end at the bottom, and then you put the little main jet in there. Obviously only one way, there's only a spot to use your flathead on one end. So after you get that, I like to lube up where the float needle is gonna go, because like I said, brake clean will kind of dry things out and make it not move as good. Let's do another test. Okay. Stops, good. Starts, stops, good. All right. Now, put the bowl back on. Line it up. Put the bottom screw in that regulates the fuel solenoid. Give it a nice half turn. Make sure that this is working. I actually haven't had to like replace these too much. As long as you clean it and get it so that it's perfect. That's how it's supposed to be aligned. You gotta do that because they're short, the wiring's short, and if you turn it the other way, when you go to put the carburetor back on, it won't go in because the fuel solenoid won't be having enough slack. I'm gonna do what I always do and put my 2 bolts that hold the carburetor in place and just test it real quick. Fuel on. So, you put it in the on position, there you go. Now, awesome. So that shows that it's working. When I put it off, the solenoid won't allow fuel through, but I'm not even gonna mess with that right now. I don't have time. She's not paying for the oil change, spark plug, air filter, so. And there you go, guys. 1, 2, and 3.